So much for joining me this morning. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, me, Nydetra. Listen, everybody, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Listen, today we're going to be talking about something that's just real. Oh, yeah, we're going to be talking about some real issues today. And one of the issues that I want to talk about today is our young people. Yeah, I'm talking about the young folk. Listen, I want to talk about our young people and some of the things that they're facing, and most of all, our Black young men. I do want to talk about that. And one of the reasons why I want to talk about that is because last Sunday, my husband and I, we had church. After church was over, we were on our way to the dollar store. I love the dollar store. I just love it. It's just something that I like to do. So my husband was like, okay, honey, I'll take you to the dollar store. So he drops me off in front of the dollar store. He drops me off. And after dropping me off, as I'm walking to the door, there was three young Black guys, and they were both standing near the door, but they were like standing on the side. And one of the young guys said to me, he said, hi, ma'am, how are you? I said, hey, honey, how are you? He was like, listen, would you like to contribute to our basketball team? Blah, 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 blah. He just started going, give me his little spiel. I said, no, not right now, sweetheart. I said, but what do you guys take? I said, do you guys just take cash? And he was like, no, ma'am, we take cash. We do take Venmo, Cash App. We have a list of things that you can contribute to. I said, oh, okay, all right. And I left it alone, and I went in the store. He didn't say anything else to me. He said, thank you so much, ma'am. Have a great day. So in the meantime, between time, I'm walking around the store. I'm getting my stuff, doing what I do. My husband comes in the store. He's with me, and we're talking, we're laughing. And as we were going to get ready to go out the store, my husband reaches in his wallet and he goes, I want to give these young guys some money. He said, I want to bless them. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, if you're going to bless them, then guess what? I'm going to bless them too. I said, all right. I reached in my pocket and I wind up pulling out a $20 bill. He was like, you going to give him a $20 bill? I said, yeah. I said, give him a $20 bill. And I said, and tell him it's from both of us. So my husband goes up to the guys as we're walking out the door, out of the dollar store, and he says, hey guys, this is from me and my wife. God bless you. They, oh, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And we left it like that. So as my husband and I were walking to the car, I said to him, I said, you know what? You'd be surprised. I know they're supposed to be doing this for the basketball team, but they may be hungry too. He was like, you know what, honey? I didn't think of that. I said, these guys may be hungry. I said, and they're young people. I said, they may be hungry. I said, so you know what? I said, God, whatever they need the money for, if it is for basketball stuff, and if it is for them to eat, God, let it be a blessing to them. So we proceeded to go forth, get in the car. We get in the car, and as we're pulling out of the parking space into, in the process of moving forward to go back home, a cop comes. And immediately I said to myself, I was like, Lord, please. And I said it out loud. I said, a cop is coming, and he's coming this way. And not only is he coming this way, I said, he's going towards the store. I said, Lord, I said, please don't let it be an issue with these young Black men. I said, God, please protect them, God. And if they happen to get told to leave, God, let them leave in peace and let them leave in one piece. In Jesus' name, my husband, he started praying and we started talking. We were both like, oh my God, our young men are out here, our young girls, our young people, and nobody's sewing into them. And it just started making me think. I said, you got these young people that are trying to play football, basketball, lacrosse, any kind of sport. And it takes so much money to buy shoes, to buy the cleats, to buy the equipment that is necessary for them to go out and actually play the sport. I said, and if you have a mother who's a single mom or a father who's a single father, and they're out there trying to muscle up an extra $500 to make sure that their son or their daughter has the equipment that he or she needs for the game. Lord, it's not easy. And it just made me think. I said, we as people of God, we're not contributing to our young people enough. Our young people are dealing with so many things. They're dealing with mental issues. They're dealing with mental illness, stress, depression, low self-esteem, not having enough. And it really bothered me because I was like, how can I help? How can me and my husband help people who are in need, especially our young folks? And, I challenge people every day with ministry, but I challenge our entrepreneurs today to actually take a step back from your life and say, I'm going to sow into my local school. I'm going to sow into a young person. I'm a sponsor. Keyword, sponsor. I'm going to sponsor one young man or one young woman or two people. I'm going to sponsor our young folks so that they can go out here, play sports, and their parents don't have to worry about how they're going to get the equipment that these young folks need to play the sports. Because let me tell you something, it's only so much the schools can do. It is only so much the coaches can do to make sure that their team has what they need. And it reminds me, just in life, when you are a leader or you're an entrepreneur or you're in business and anything, you're a CEO of a company, it's your job to make sure that your employees have the equipment that they need to get the job done. Even at work, sometimes I get frustrated because sometimes the computers are running slow or sometimes the system shuts down and it makes it impossible to take care of our customers. And I ask my managers and them sometime, how come y'all can't get this together? This is $1 million company, or this is $1 billion company that we work for. What do you mean that there's so many glitches in the system? Get the glitches fixed, or don't open until the glitches are all done and fixed. Because what's happening is you're making it hard for us, the workers, to do the job that you called us to do. And it's just so hard for our young folks to play sports when they don't have the equipment to cover them. Today, I want you to ask yourself, how can you give back to our young folks? How can you help our young people? How can you mentor, encourage, or sponsor a young person growing up? Take a step back. Remember when you were young. And remember what the sports that you played and how it was hard for your mom and your dad to get you your equipment. And if you had it good, I had it good. I had it growing up good. I didn't have to worry about those things. But guess what? Everybody didn't grow up like I did. So in the process of all of that, it makes me really step back and actually give back to people. So when I see our young folks out here asking for money to buy cleats and buy basketball materials and equipment and all kinds of stuff, I sow into them. My husband and I sow into them. And for our young Black people, our young Black guys, I feel my heart sank when I saw the cop, because it's not about a race thing. but it definitely is about a race thing. And sometimes it's hard for our young black people. It is hard for our young black guys. And those young boys, they're young men, they're standing out there asking for money. It makes them look bad. And I never forget, my husband told me when he was taking me to work one morning, he said, I went to Wawa and I saw these young black boys outside selling selling something. And he said, I gave them all $20. He said, and I told them to go home. He said, and the reason why I told them to go home, he said, because it was not safe for them to be out there asking for money, because they're trying to make a living. They're doing it honestly, yes. But what's happening is you got these people out here, you got some people who just don't care, and they don't look at it as an honest thing. They're asking, they're not begging, they're asking. And you got people who literally are out here who don't care and that will call the cops on them and actually make a big thing about it. So this is why when me and my husband are out and we see our young black people, our young black men out here asking, hey, I'll pump your gas for a few dollars, or I'll wash your car for a few dollars, I just say no. Here, take this. Just go ahead. Just take it. But ma'am, no, just go ahead, because why? I want you to stay safe. It scares me. As a mother, it scares me. And I start praying over them, because I really don't want our children to get hurt out here. And you're probably saying, okay, now you're making it a race thing. Yeah, I am. Because it is a race thing. Because I've seen kids who are white get away with a lot of things that the black kids can't get away with. And you're probably saying, why would you talk about that? Well, this is real talk. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. This is real conversation. This is real talk. And with real talk, we have real issues. It is hard being black. It is. And, I know they say black don't crack, black this, black that, black is beautiful. It is. But it is so hard being black. It is. It's just hard. Even being a black woman out here in the corporate world, it is hard to be a black woman in corporate world. Because guess what? Me being in the corporate business, do you not know I can't get away with being late? I know so many girls that are on the job that literally come to work late every single day and never have gotten written up. I come to work late, I get in trouble. I get a coaching. That's what they call it. They call it a coaching. And it used to seriously bother me. And I'd be like, are you serious? You're coaching me on being 5 minutes late, but Samantha, who's late 2 and 3 hours every single day, y'all don't say nothing to her. Oh, well, she has a reason. Oh, I don't have no reason? Oh, okay. I never forget. This was recent. I was at work, and this was back in February. I literally was sick. I could not breathe. It was so hard for me to breathe. I just could not function. And my asthma was, flaring up really bad on me. I was at work and I literally had to go to work because I told them I wasn't feeling well before, but I wasn't supported. They didn't care. And then the moment that I came to work feeling like I was going to die, that's when they wanted to take action. Oh, Nydetra, go to the hospital. Oh, Nydetra, go to the hospital. But why should I have to come to work almost about to die before you tell me to go to the hospital. But somebody else who went through the same thing I went through, there was a man, Caucasian man, white man. I know him. Poor little thing. He went to work. He wasn't even coming to work. He wasn't even coming to work. He went into HR. They called him into the HR office. He told them some sad story about how he was sick. They took it. They wiped his slate clean. Me, I got in trouble. I got in trouble because I had been sick. And I had been sick for days. And I was coming in late because I was sick. And I got written up. But he didn't. It's hard being black. I'm sorry. And I love everybody, but it's hard being black. It's hard. I can't get away with some of the things that other people get away with. It's hard for our young people. And our young people are so angry and they're frustrated and they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to deal with racism. The young people, the Generation Z and all the millennials, a lot of them really don't know how to deal with being the only black girl in the class. I never forget. I mean, I'm an 80s baby. I remember in kindergarten being the only black girl in kindergarten. Then I was a big black girl. Like I was plus size. I was chunky. I ain't never been skinny a day in my life. I was a chunky black girl. I was the only black girl in my school, in my class, and I was chunky. I had two big things against me. I was black and I was chunky. And when I tell you, I went through a lot in school that I've never really talked about. I went through a lot of picking. I got picked on so bad in school that I used to literally hide in the bathroom. This went on from elementary school all the way up to middle school. It was not until I got to high school. I never forget the first day of high school. I saw so many black kids. I saw them fat, tall, short, skinny, medium, extra large, triple large. I mean, I saw so many people. I came home from school the very first day of high school and I cried my eyes out to my mom. I never forget, I was on the floor crying and she said, "Dee Dee, I told you that you weren't the only one." I was just like, just thinking about it kind of gives me a little bit of a tear in my eye because I went through a lot for years because a lot of times I was the only black kid in the class and I was plus size big and I was plus size and I was black and I just had so much stacked against me. And these are the things that black people go through. And I know sometimes, white folks, they be like, "Oh, y'all shouldn't feel that way. We love everybody." You may love everybody, but everybody don't love everybody. Everybody that's around you, all your other brothers and sisters who are white don't love us. And it's hard for us black people sometimes to actually maneuver. Now, one thing I don't do is I don't worry myself about being black because I'm a mover and a shaker. Now, that's where I am different. And that's where I stand strong in, is because I know that I'm black. I know that I'm a plus size woman, but I owned and I command the room. When I go to work, listen, I command respect. And guess what? They give it to me because I command it. They give it to me because I make my case. I let them know, now wait 1 minute. I am an educated woman. And then I'm an educated Black woman. Please don't let the Black and the plus size fool you. I can run rings around you. And the moment that I command the room, that's when they start, oh, Nydetra. Yeah, Nydetra. So sometimes as Black women or just Black people in general, you just got to know how to command the room. You don't have to dwell on the fact that there's racism, or you don't have to dwell on the fact that you're not being treated the same as someone. Because I don't dwell on it. I could care less. You don't have to treat me right. But at the end of the day, if I cut you and you cut me, we both bleed red. So I'm okay. I'm not mad at all. I have learned how to command the room. And then I've learned how to do the switcheroo. A lot of people ask me, have you ever had to deal with racism as far as the cops were concerned? No, I did not. Because I honestly grew up in an area where we lived very well. And and I always knew when the cops pull you over, hey, hi, Mr. Officer, how are you? Yes, sir. What do you believe? Why are you pulling me over, sir? Well, let me see your license and registration. Sure, no problem. I've learned, I don't combat with the police. I don't go back and forth with them. I respect what they're saying, and I'll let them know, well, sir, I don't believe, I was doing that speed, or no, sir, I wasn't. Here's my license and my registration. There you go. I've been pulled over before. I've gotten a ticket. I've gotten tickets. And if I was wrong, and I knew I was wrong, I would just normally say, sir, I didn't realize I was doing that. I apologize. I am very sorry. And I've gotten out of tickets because why? Kindness kills. Yeah. A lot of times, they were, oh, did you know you were going 50 miles? No, ma'am, no, sir. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was doing that. I wasn't even paying attention. I thought I was doing the right thing. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Well, let me check your record. Okay, no problem. And they would come back, well, I'm just going to give you a warning. Yes, sir. Thank you so very kindly. I truly appreciate it, sir. I want you to have a fantastic night. A lot of times it's about how you approach certain things. So those are the things that I have experienced. I've experienced racism, but I don't dwell on it. And I think sometimes we go a little too far. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes we do go a little too far. We dwell on it so much to the point where we don't give no room for healing. Don't beat me up. I'm just being real. I'm just talking real. This is my opinion. This is not gospel. This is not facts. This is not proven by the Holy Ghost and any other ghost you want to talk about. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's just me talking. I'm giving you my opinion. Sometimes we don't leave enough room for healing. And I had to learn that. Not just with Black and white situations, racism or whatever, just people in general. Sometimes you just got to learn how to make room for some healing to occur. And that's what I did. I had to learn how to make room for healing. And I try not to judge every white person according to my past experience. Okay, yes, I was talked to rough by a Caucasian woman, white woman, however you want to say it. But let me tell you something. The next person that gets on the phone, everybody's not going to treat me the same way. Somebody may be like, girl, what's up? How you doing? I'm like, hey, girl, how you? Whatever. I just feel like sometimes we don't give enough room for healing. We're so busy worrying about and being angry and frustrated with the cops or just with people who mistreat us that we don't give room and we don't show grace, and there's no healing there. So I'm learning every single day. We just got to show some type of grace. We got to show some type of compassion and say, you know what, maybe he or she was having a bad day or whatever the case may be. Or let me just forgive them. Lord, forgive them for they either know not what they do. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You got to remember, sometimes you just got to give people some grace. Some people really don't mean to be rude, but they are rude. When I have customers that tell me, they say, I'm not trying to be rude. And then I rebuttal with them. If you're not trying to be rude, then don't be rude. So let's talk. Let's talk right. You know? So that's something that I do share with them. I said, listen, if you're not trying to be rude, then let's not be rude. Let's do the right thing. Let's talk nice to each other. You know, and I say that to them, that's when they normally be like, oh, okay, no problem. I'm sorry. And I'm like, okay, cool, it's no problem. You know, but I'm learning every single day to give people room. Give people room to allow the healing process to go forth. Listen, this is just me doing my real talk, y'all. You know, we're talking about black and white and our young people having an opportunity to feel that they have a voice. But we as parents have to teach our young people, yes, you have a voice. Yes, you have a voice. But you got to know when it's time to heal. Son, it's okay for you to voice your opinion. Daughter, voice your opinion. But how do we move on from here? How do we go forward? How do we move in peace? And that's something that as parents, we do have to teach our young people that are growing up. Teach them, you have a voice, use it. You have skill, use it. But then we got to know how and when to find peace and move forward and do better. So, you know, that's one thing I'm learning every day. And that's what I'm teaching my daughter. Honey, voice your opinion. You speak your mind. But how do you move on from here? Because all we do is, if you think about it, you're constantly moving in the same direction, and there's nobody, you're still talking about it. It's just like with my customers. I have customers that just want to complain. They call, they complain. I give them about maybe 3 to 4 minutes of complaining, and then I cut them off. I purposely cut them off because if I continue to respond to their complaint, what happens is all I have a conversation is complaining. It's just a major conversation of complaining. There's no resolution to the problem. And we call them at work called arm statements. We need an arm statement. So, and my arm statement now is based upon what you've told me, based upon what you've shared with me, based upon what I've heard from you during the conversation. This is the solution to that problem. So I'm going to need for you to find an arm statement based upon our previous conversation, based upon what you said, based upon what I'm hearing you say. Pricing is an issue. And what it does, it cuts. Arm statements, they cut. They cut the confusion and they bring about a change. Remember that. Arm statements cut the confusion and bring about a change. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you joining me today. This is our Real Talk. I am your host, Nydetra. Listen, I love each and every one of you. I thank you for coming in to the Real Talk, being with me. I want you to join me every Friday at 10 a.m. for the Real Talk, real conversations, real things. I want you to have a great day on purpose. Talk to you soon.